Alright guys, welcome back. So let's have a look at these miners again. So market is closed, but we know crypto trades 24/7, and even though today we had a high of almost like 95,500 for Bitcoin, and right now after market close it is pushing towards 100, so it's trading at 98,300. It's BTC. But the question today was, and even before that, a lot of people were basically asking, never addressed this particular question. But again, this is purely my opinion. So even today, you observed it. Marathon Digital went up 14% following the Bitcoin price action, versus Cleanspark, pretty much flat, 1% down. Riot Platforms, flat, 1% down as well, around 1% down. Okay, and I'll try to answer it in a few simple ways. So very first one, we know the biggest one in this among these three miners is the Marathon Digital with 7.2 market capitalization, 7.2 billion as of that price today, and also the Bitcoin holdings, right? They have the highest number. So as far as I remember last time, I couldn't find it on here, but I know they have around like 26,000 BTC coins. If I'm wrong, correct me. Regarding Riot Platforms, Riot 10,000 as of September 12th, but if they have more, okay, no problem. You guys can correct me on that too. And then Cleanspark, 8,701. So if that's wrong, definitely you can correct it in the comment below. Okay, so we know that. Okay, that's all good. But the one thing has always been the case when it comes to trading these names in and out. Marathon Digital has always been pretty liquid when it comes to the volume of the stock, how much it trades daily. So today's its volume was 124 million shares exchanged hands, versus Riot Platforms volume relatively lower, right? 42 million. And then Cleanspark, same thing, relatively lower, right? But the reason why is, in my opinion, again, Marathon Digital has pretty big, pretty large option activity. That's how a lot of basically option traders milk the stock premiums, because since this stock trades up and down every single day with elevated implied volatility, sometimes it comes down, they take advantage of that. They can take advantage of it more, and those options as well, pretty liquid. Just like with MicroStrategy, what you're seeing right now, do you think it's just purely people? Of course, there are people buying MSTR, I know, but it's just when you have crazy option activity for the stock, where you can see almost 1 million total option traded, and with this crazy implied volatility premiums, IV plus 200%, that moves the stock, okay, up or down. And that's what a lot of people like get twisted. Like, people think that option, it has been, at least for the last 2 years, and again, this is my perspective as an options trader. A lot of people think that, yes, you are true. You think that the stock is the underlying, right? This is this underlying, and then the option is derivative, basically, that moves when stock moves. But last 2 years, most of the big moves were opposite, actually. It's option flows, the gamma squeeze, pretty aggressive buying in the money, outside of the money, call buying or put buying was swinging the stocks up and down. And I don't know I mean, there are maybe people who trade options have already covered that topic, but that's what has been happening with these names, and particularly with Mara and MSTR and even Nvidia and other stocks that you see big swings. Again, it's purely my opinion. In my opinion, it's opposite actually. Underlying is option activity, and freaking stock itself is the derivative. Okay? And if you just compare the total volume and the money, capital was involved in moving this Mara 13%, if you just multiply this 124 million volume share to the share price average today, you would have an idea of how much capital was involved to move this stock. And then you can also go take a look at this premium, which 729,000 contracts traded. But again, I'm not saying purely the cost of these contracts, but this is 100 times leveraged, right? So if you understand options, basically any contract you buy, you multiply by 100, and basically it controls 100 shares, one contract. So if you consider the capital that is involved in the option chain every single day versus the volume, you can discover that there's more money circulating in freaking option volume trading versus the actual stocks underlying. Or it could be even, but it could be a little bit less. But again, this is how it generally is, right? Stock tends to move for fundamental reasons, and the option is purely just derivative, moves off of the stock price. But if you understand the hedging, it basically whenever you buy in the money, or whenever you try to go get crazy amount of options to the upside or downside, market maker has to hedge. So if you're buying a bunch of calls, they have to buy shares to hedge themselves, because they have to make the market. They have to sell you that contract. It could be anybody. It could be Morgan Stanley selling you that contract. It could be JP Morgan selling you that contract. And they need to go ahead and buy shares to hedge themselves overnight. Okay? That's why you see big swings. When people monetize or when people sell, close out their options, you see like stocks come down, because those market makers have no need to hold those shares and hedge themselves as you dump your contracts. As you dump your contracts, they dump the shares. So that's the point. So that's my point of explaining. So this is my opinion that this stock is more volatile. There's more eyeballs. It's more liquid when it comes to like money moving. Wherever the liquidity, that's where market is going to go, okay? And that's why I think Marathon moves more than those two miners. Okay, now quickly I'm going to go through the price levels, and then we can, of course, we have been talking about this for many times, and then we can talk about it tomorrow. But I'm pretty sure these stocks are going to gap up. So my resistance for Marathon would be around 26.70. I was talking about this last time. So very impressive recovery, but which was expected, like assuming BTC moves fast, okay? And now if option, again, just like I said, if tomorrow people see the stock gapping up and they pile into options just like they did today 556,000 calls came in versus 169,000 puts, and it pushed the stock crazy. And tomorrow, if people come in and buy, it will go up further, squeeze, and my levels for the stock remains the same, 26.75. That's the resistance. Above that, $30 is very pivotal level. Can it push towards that? Well, if you see BTC hovering above 100K, absolutely possible squeeze. Regarding Riot Platforms, You can see Riot Platforms had 100,000, 121,000 calls today, 25,000 puts, and it was having a hard time with this $12.75. That was the area I was watching as a resistance. So basically this 13, 12.75, 13. If it gets back above it and gets going, probably this area again, this is my resistance for this name, this trend line. So you can see we have a downtrend. If it gets back above 1550, then I have a resistance at 18 and then 20, probably maybe 19 actually. And then Cleanspark, if this catches a bid, it has pretty big area of supply. A lot of people are trapped here. Again, you can see, again, I'm not interested to trade any of these names unless premiums are attractive. So you see this zone between 15 to all the way 20. Can it push? Well, ultra short term for Cleanspark to get going, maybe it needs to get back above 15 first, okay? And then, well, recent highs, 17, 18 bucks, that's your resistance, and then 20 bucks. But this area is very, very heavy area for this stock. And they have earnings coming up 29th of November. So one more week, they're going to report. And also, while I was digging this information to you guys, I came across, because last time I was talking about like these miners, when they went public, they had like 500 million common stock limit authorized. And I was saying that they cannot dilute anymore after that. But here it is, Riot Platforms. And I did a little bit of a digging. Looks like it was approved by shareholders. Now their outstanding shares can go as far as 680 million. So far they have 324 million as of September 30th. But I think they dumped a little bit because when I'm looking at Thinkorswim, they have more. They have like couple million more outstanding shares, 332, so 8 million more, because if they had shelf offerings sitting there, and they could have just dumped it too somewhere around here. But I will talk about this later, and I will go through all of those three, but I don't want to make this video too long. But that's the update for these miners. I hope you learned something. If you did, drop a like, subscribe. See you in the next update.